Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Addington News, inside 2 weeks out from IRT New Zealand Trotting Cup Day. Here I am standing on ZM on the green. You can have this stuff, grass, or you can go up on the roof and get a great view of Addington Raceway. Ticket sales going well. Don't forget, you need to get online. $50 general admittance. There's a couple in the fashion marquee, but they're just about all gone. And the rest of them, no, you're out of luck. Good luck to those who have got them though. This Friday night at Addington, we have a key lead-up race meeting. A little bit unusual, Kaikoura, congratulations to them too. Magnificent 2 days they just had at South Bay Raceway. But this Friday fits in beautifully because of where the Melbourne Cup is as a lead-up, particularly to the undercard races. In saying that, we have a Hoka Connor, who's about third or fourth favourite for the Garrard's Derby here on Grand Prix Day, which is the 10th of December. Check that out at Addington as well, addington.co.nz that is. He takes on a pretty good field. He's got some really nice 3-year-olds against him, the likes of Franco Sinatra, Hoka LeBron and some others, so it's a good field. But it'll be good to see him back on the track. We also have Bolt for Brilliance back. After his gallop here in the Canterbury Park Cup, he's back and he starts off 30 metres. Smoke and Bandar, the grey trotter, will be hard to beat in that. Looking forward to seeing them. We've got the SENZ 2-year-old trot. It's at $40,000 they race for there. Hit him up, I reckon it'll be pretty hard to beat in that. Right now though, I'm going to have a chat to Matt Peden about some of the feature races. Matt, part of the bookmaking team, to give you an insight where to place your money on Friday night.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure to be joined on Addington News by Matthew Peden, made famous on the box seat a few weeks ago, and of course, man who helps put together all of the odds. Thanks for your time, Matt, on the build-up to the IRT New Zealand Cup's been terrific, but this Friday night's race meeting, really sets the scene, particularly for a number of those undercard races.
Yeah, morning, Gregory. Brilliant to be joining you, and you're bang on with the flow-on effect from Kaikoura leading into Friday night, and plenty of good horses that are taking their lead-up runs now through Friday night into the IRT New Zealand Cup Day and beyond through to show days. So really looking forward to seeing how things play out.
All right, let's get into it, and we won't do every race, but the first one I want to focus on is the fourth on the program, the Carl Forrester Memorial, because we see the return of a Hoka Connor, who is unbeaten in 6, was a last start winner of the Supremacy from memory, and has trialled up really nicely. What have you made of his trials, and is he forward enough to be winning fresh up against some decent other 3-year-olds and some pretty good middle grade horses too?
Fair question, Greg. The trial's obviously progressive, and particularly that second one, which he looked just incredibly strong at the line on. And we know how the Stonewall team and Tim Williams in particular like those horses travelling on the bit when they run through the line. And he was a perfect example of that. Obviously, he's going to have improvement to come as he leads towards the Derby in December, but it looks a good race for him to kick off in. In saying that, there's some good form in the race, the likes of Who's Delight and Triple G coming out of that race at Ashburton, the 3-year-old race at Ashburton. Franco Sinatra, brilliant first up. I think I got him home in around about 54.5 first up. So it's not a mug's field by any means, and he's going to have to be good to win from out there. But I think with what the stable think of him, it'll definitely be the road to the Derby for him.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I think he's about third or fourth favourite for the Derby, behind Don't Stop Dreaming and Merlin. The group race on the night is the SENZ. I was going to say Trot's Talk, but it's not. It's the SENZ 2-year-old Trotting Stakes. Of course, you can tune in to Trot's Talk. We'll be back at our 11 a.m. slot, where Matthew Peden quite often makes an appearance on, or certainly verbally anyway. This race was down to be run in May, Matthew. I think it might have found its home here because we've got a full field and we've got about half a dozen other runners with winning race day form. So it's a case of trotting all the way, yes, but I think Hit 'Em Up has a big advantage coming up with Barrier 1. I know he galloped on Monday at Kaikoura on Sunday, but he looked like he was going to win that race and he still got down trotting and ran 4th. So Barrier 1, is that going to be an advantage to him?
Well, he started off when he was off the mobile 2 starts ago. He came off Barrier 1. He wasn't brilliant off the gate, Greg, but he did enough to muster and hold his spot. And I think for him at this point in his career, the mobile might be the key. His stand-start manners to date have been a little bit indifferent, but you know that Paul Nairn will have those sorted in time. But I think coming up with barrier 1, if he can hold a spot, it doesn't look a brilliant front line in terms of early speed, then I think he'll be thereabouts. And if he does lead, he's probably the horse to beat.
All right, so he's the one to beat. You've got Look to the Stars, who beat him last time, but got the lead off him about the half mile and was too strong. You've got a couple of other decent horses. Empire City's a nice horse. One first up. Excellent win it was. Of course, trained by the master and Paul Nairn. And A Fine Patrick made a fine debut.
Yeah, and if you can forgive just on Empire City, her last run, she went around $1.70 in a pretty fair race on the back of a dazzling debut, really, where I think she got home in around about 57 flat when she ran down the leader, who had a pretty good time of it down the side. So if you can forgive that run, as I say, she'll be pretty competitive. And A Fine Patrick found the line really nicely on debut as well, and he looks like he's got quite a bit of speed for a trotter. So a couple to watch there. And you couldn't write off Look to the Stars, whose form this time in's been really, really good. Obviously a progressive horse, and the Perdens at Rolleston have got him firing at the right time of year, as they so often do.
Yep. Well, speaking of the Perdens of Rolleston, the 2-year-old race, they hold the key in many ways, which is race number 6, the Philip and Glenys Kennard. I don't think that they're across the line here, though. They've got Chase a Dream, Major Hot. I reckon Hawkeye Pierce is a cracking bet this week. Comes up with a good barrier, finished 5th in that race, the Harness Millions final, and I thought made up a lot of ground. Actually went terrific. Comes up with a beautiful barrier draw of 3, has early gate speed, enough to put itself right in this, and has that bloke Hurley sitting in the bike.
He sure does, and he drew one the second row in that Harness Million final. You probably thought before the race it would have been a good draw to set maybe 3 at worst, 4 back the pegs, but he ended up shuffled a fair way back, and like you said, flashed home really well late. So if he can hold a forward spot for Tony, I do concur with you. He's going to be some sort of an each-way chance, but probably, in my opinion, going to need a little bit to go his way when you consider the class of Chase a Dream and La Major that are drawn out wide. And even
La Major is the one, isn't he? He's the one that I didn't mention then. But how hard a run do you think he'll be looking for, though? Because they are, 10 or 11 days away from the Woodland Sire Stakes final. So it comes down to one word. There's a real Michael Guerinism here: intent.
It does come down to intent, and just knowing whether or not they're going to go forward or just slide across is a hard thing. At the end of the day, he's about 3 weeks between runs from that last Harness Million race leading into the Sire Stakes final. So depending on what sort of run he does need will probably shape the way they drive him. But as he showed, he's got brilliant gate speed, and he can negate that bad draw reasonably easy, I think.
Yeah. All right, looking forward to that 2-year-old. Will Bolt for Brilliance beat the Grey Flash, Smokin' Bandar? Can he give him 30 metres? And again, the small field will certainly aid his chance because he's so fast. He should be within 3 lengths of them, regardless of how the races run when they turn for home. Is this the race that may well determine who remains the favourite for the Remick Farms Dominion? Because you guys have got your book open at $2.50 a pair at the moment.
I think it does, Greg. It's a tricky race in a sense that we've got a small field, and if a horse like Smokin' Bandar was to get onto the front end, we know he's capable of ripping home in sort of 56 sort of half. So it can make it tough for Bolt for Brilliance to chase him down, but he's got brilliance and he's got class, Bolt for Brilliance, as the name does suggest. But you'd think if he was settled within 3-4 lengths of them swinging in, he may even be working up towards parked at the 1,000 or somewhere around there. His class might take him close. But I think in terms of the favouritism for the Dominion, it will have some bearing, obviously, depending on how the race is run and other factors around it. But I think if he was to come out and win impressively, just the fact Muscle Mountain's going to be off the unrule, and we may see Bolt for Brilliance into an outright favourite. But we'll have to see how things play out on Friday night first.
Yeah, looking forward to that. The next race has Mantra Blue, and so there's a string of races in a row which will hold so much interest. And then we get to the free-for-all race where Republican Party's won the Canterbury Classic, second in the Ashburton Flying Stakes. Yes, it has to start off 10 metres, but looks a terrific bet this week. Beach Ball, now with Brendan Hill. Excellent win last time, first time from a stand that he's been able to win. Comes up with barrier 2. McAndrew Aviator needs to get his IRT New Zealand Cup campaign back on track. He's got a ticket straight into it, of course, as we know, but Yeah, he's had a few issues for Stephen Boyd. Is it Republican Party's race to lose?
It really is hard to see him getting beaten, Greg. Second last time out to Akuta, who's won since, obviously, at Kaikoura. I got Republican Party home at 53.4. So you don't go much better than that. And you'd think, no matter how Blair drove him, if he was within a length on the turn, 2 lengths on the turn, or if he's up on the speed, that he's probably just going to have too much class for his rivals on Friday night.
Yep, absolutely is. Hey, Matt, thanks for stopping by and having a quick chat to us about some of these features here on Friday night. I'd love to say good luck to you, not only Friday night, but I'd be lying. And I'd love to say good luck to you for Cup Week. But the punters want a piece of the TAB. So that's your organisation you work for, Indeed TAB. So, good luck putting the markets out. And just on that, they'll be out nice and early. The fields for Addington for Cup Day come out Wednesday after Melbourne Cup, so that being the 8th. We're likely to see those markets not too long after that, generally about Friday, Thursday, maybe Friday.
Greg, just tentatively at the moment, I will have it confirmed for you. The Cup market should be out Wednesday night, Wednesday afternoon, following the release of the barrier draw that afternoon at Addington.
In the Cup trial.
We'll look for the other features to be opened around about midday on Thursday, and hopefully the undercard will be open late afternoon on Thursday as well. So by Friday, you should be able to bid on the whole card for New Zealand Cup Day. But there will be a banner on the website, and we'll throw a link on Twitter and all that, so that they're easy to be found. And we'll see how we go from there. Yeah,
look forward to it, mate. I know there'll be heaps of other options. You guys are doing a great job for the code, and really appreciate what you're doing. So thanks for your time, mate.
Thanks, Greg. Good luck.
So a big thank you to Matthew Peden filling in today and helping us out, giving you an insight into what might unfold around some of those feature horses. Don't forget, if you need to get your tickets, addington.co.nz. Otherwise, I'll see you here, Addington Raceway. First race, 4:48 Friday night.